You've been in this space long before you started at Vitality.
Yeah.
What sparked your interest in that?
Yeah, it was just my own health journey, trying to be the best version of myself.
What is biohacking?
First and foremost, I think just doing something that sucks every single day and creating that mental callus allows you to handle stress better.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talkin St. I am your host, Ryan Bogdan. Before we get into today's awesome guest, I want to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Bogdan Homes. So if you know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate here in the local Tampa Bay area, find our contact information in the description below. And now on to our awesome guest, a good friend of mine, Ciaran Wentz, the founding partner and general manager of Talkin St, making sure we all stay healthy. And they got a new location opening here on 4th Street soon. Ciaran, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Yeah, grateful to be here.
Yeah, man. Super stoked to have you here. And, you know, we're keeping on trend with, somehow I happen to find all the St. Pete locals, the natives to St. Pete happen to come on the show, which is fitting because other than the few of you, I only know people who moved here from out of state.
Yeah, it seems to be a common theme.
Yeah.
But us natives, we're here.
Yeah, you're
We're
here.
hanging
The
out.
unicorns are here.
We're here.
Holding it down as the city continues to grow. So, let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
What is biohacking?
Yeah, great question. I have my own definition for biohacking. It's the self-experimentation on oneself through the use of new technology, supplementation, diet, lifestyles, little ancestral wisdom, and all things health and wellness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been in this for a little bit. You've been in this space long before you started at Vitality.
Yeah.
What sparked your interest in that?
Yeah, it was just my own health journey, trying to be the best version of myself. And I got into like ice baths and Wim Hof almost 10 years ago now, before ice baths were even a thing. And just it woke something up inside of me, and I realized there was more to health and wellness than just working out, eating, taking the right supplementations. I knew there was something inside of me that could be pushed farther. And the breath work, the ice baths, and then I started adding in these different technologies. And then I realized I was sleeping better, I had more energy, I had more clarity of thought, my productivity skyrocketed. And I was like, oh, there's something to all this. The hippies might have been onto something.
For those who don't know, you mentioned Wim Hof. Who is Wim Hof?
Yeah, so the Iceman Wim Hof, he is a multiple world record holder for cold immersion. He is the guy who's taught people how to use their breath to control their autonomic nervous system and be able to heat up their bodies. He was injected with an E. coli and actually able to kill off the E. coli by heating up his body through breath work. So this guy's
power of the
fascinating.
breath.
The power of the breath. It's amazing.
Yeah, so good. I've mentioned it a couple of times. If you haven't read the book Breath by James Nestor, you need to go check that out.
Amazing.
Looking at all the breathing techniques. Okay, but biohacking is more than just the breath work. As we're here, we stay present, right?
Absolutely.
With that, Vitality has really brought some new stuff to the scene here in terms of those who are looking to hack their bodies and take better care of it.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about what's all going on there. What are some of the things that we got happening?
Yeah, so we've got a lot at Vitality. A lot of these other places have, they have a float over here. There's a salt room over here. There's cryo over here. We've taken all of these different modalities and put them under one roof, which is really special. So we have 16. I'll rattle them off pretty quickly. But we have cryotherapy. We have an ice bath with a contrast. So hot, cold, hot, cold. We have a float tank, so sensory deprivation float tank. We have a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. We have compression therapy. We have oxygen therapy. We just got hydrogen inhalation machines. We have a red light bed. We have an infrared sauna. We have a salt room. We also do body contouring and facials. And then we have PEMF, which is a really fascinating thing, which we can get into later. We have the Superhuman Protocol, which is pretty famous by 10X Health Systems. We also do IV therapies. We have a biocharger, which is a frequency device. And we have something called a Nano V, which is another frequency device.
The list goes on and on and on. And
Yeah.
my goodness, some people are scratching their heads right now and not having a clue.
Yeah.
But let's start with one of my favorites because it might be the most in-depth and the most new to the scene is the PEMF mat.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Pulse electromagnetic field therapy. So if anybody listening understands the benefits of grounding, this is like a grounding machine on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially what it is it uses magnetic fields to penetrate into different depths of the body depending on the frequency you use. So as you've experienced for deep injuries or any body contusions or bruising, you can put it on a high frequency, and this frequency actually penetrates all the way through your body and stimulates extra blood flow and oxygen. So any internal injuries that are getting a lack of blood flow or oxygen, this machine allows your cells to declump themselves, which allows them to move around more and open up for receiving extra blood flow and oxygen.
It's fascinating. So I can tell
cool.
from firsthand experience laying on this thing, you feel like $1 million after.
Yeah, everybody gets off and they use this one word. And I never tell people what to feel or like, oh, how should I feel from this machine? I'm like, that's up to you. And they all get off and they say, I feel lighter. And it makes sense because if your cells are stagnant and clumped together, an object in motion stays in motion, but an object at rest stays at rest. So if your cells in your body are clumped together and not moving around inside of you, you're going to feel that. And if your cells,
like a brick.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be weighed down. You're going to be lethargic. You're going to be low energy. But if you give your cells what they need and they're moving around and they're happy in your body's going to respond to that and you're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to flow better cerebrally, physically, all the things just from taking care of those billions of little things in your body. It's fascinating.
Oh, man. Do you hear that? I broke my own rule. The phone's going. Okay, so from laying on that thing, I know I had a little, my back and then my knee. This is like I think the fastest. My knee was hurting a little bit, and we had that concentrated mat over the knee, and then 30 minutes laying there, got up, and the pain was completely gone.
Yeah, so it's amazing for pain management. It's actually been used to fix racehorses since the 70s. That's where it's got its start. It's got its first FDA approval in 1979 to fix bone fractures. And they quickly realized that it was amazing for racehorses because they didn't have to cut open a racehorse to perform surgery. So it's also one of the best forms of non-invasive surgery. And the results speak for themselves. People come in and they have pain in their necks, pain in their backs, and they sit on this device and they get up and they go, Ciaran, I haven't felt this good in years. Like, I don't know what's going on, but something's happening.
Yeah.
And then they do it consistently. It's not just a Band-Aid effect. And they come back and they keep doing it. They keep doing it. And they're like, dude, I don't think I have to keep doing this. It's gone. Now they're just doing it for the maintenance and for the energy from it.
Yeah.
So it can be used as a healing device, yes, and I use that word lightly. But it can also be used as an optimization device. It can give your body energy, better brain flow, which just equates to a better life.
Yeah. So we're doing. So I know my good day at Vitality for me is I'm laying on the PMF and I'm sitting in the salt room. Why are we sitting in the salt room?
Yeah.
I mean, I know personally after sitting in there for a couple minutes, I'm breathing better.
Yeah. So what's really cool about PEMF too is it primes up your cells and it's like the foundation of all this biohacking stuff. Because if your cells aren't ready to receive the ions from the salt room or the spectrums of light from the red light or the heat or the cold, it can't get into the cell and it's almost not being as effective. So when you do the PEMF and then you're going into the salt room, you're actually able to relax more and you're going to be taking bigger parasympathetic breaths from your belly and you're going to be inhaling more of the salt and it's going to have a better effect. So allergy, asthmas, any type of respiratory issue, red tide comes around, you get in there and you breathe in that highly ionized salt. It's like going to the beach on steroids and you flush out. It gets you all out of there.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah. You guys all had allergies and you came in and then you left and you're like, oh, I don't have the inflammation in my sinuses anymore.
For the crew and I, some Sundays are like hanging out at Vitality for 2-3 hours and we're hitting all the things. Which is a trend here. We say all the things all the time on this podcast. Really,
St. Pete's the place of all the things.
St. Pete is the place of all the things. Okay, so what are some of the other good ones? Oh, let's talk about, so the ice bath. That is super trendy right now.
Super trendy,
but because there's tons of benefits. People are feeling immediate jolts, more awake, more alertness, clarity. What else? What are some of the other benefits of doing an ice bath, and how should we properly do one?
Yeah. First and foremost, I think just doing something that sucks every single day and creating that mental callus allows you to handle stress better, which translates into the whole rest of your life. If you get stuck in traffic, get an email you don't want to answer, something happens throughout your day, and after you do an ice bath, it's like, okay, I already ate the frog this morning. Now I can do anything. So I think the mental aspect of it is like my favorite thing. I've overcome a lot of performance anxiety, or like if I have a really busy day, I know if I do my ice bath first thing in the morning, everything else is cake. So I think that's really important. And then it gets into, like you said, doing it the right way. You see a lot of people on Instagram doing ice baths, or they get in and like half their body's sticking in and they're sitting there mouth breathing really heavy, and you want to get in there and relax. You want to get in there all the way up to your neck. You want your thyroid, which is a huge thermal regulator, to go underwater. You even want to dunk your head because your head is your biggest thermal regulator. And if you get that cold in the beginning, it allows you to adapt to the water faster, and then you can sit in there longer, which 3 to 5 minutes is what the science says. If you want to push it and you don't stress out your body, then sitting in there for 5 to 10 minutes can be beneficial too. But you want full body submersion in 38 to 45 degree water. You don't want to go too cold. You don't want to go too hot. There's definitely a sweet spot in between. But more so, you want to listen to your body when you get in there. Your mind, it's usually a mental thing. Your mind will tell you, get out, get out, get out. If you breathe through your body, you breathe in through your nose, get into a relaxed meditative state. As you know, you can sit in there for way longer than your mind tells you can. So
your body takes on way more than the thoughts that are going on in your mind.
100%.
And I use that analogy for some things in life suck, but it's like getting in cold water. After you make it past minute 2, you're kind of numbed out and the thoughts disappear. It's like for anyone who like meditates or watches their thoughts, to watch what happens in the alarm bells that go off when you first get in that water. You know, the first minute is like, oh, get out, get out, get out, get out. And then you can, it dissipates. It calms down, and then eventually you're just there.
You learn so much about yourself when you get in ice cold water. It brings out all the demons inside of you, and you got to either face them or let them conquer you. And that's the beautiful thing about the ice bath.
It's the panic.
Yeah.
If you don't panic, like anything in life, you'll be okay. But the panic causes all this, and you don't even know what you're thinking other than, I just want to get the hell out of this water.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. It's been one of my biggest needle movers as far as biohacking goes, like immediate results, compounding results. And now, you know, I'm a Florida boy. I hate the cold. I always have. My hate for cold water has always remained the same. It doesn't get easier, but my love for it is actually exponentially increased because I know the results it's going to bring me. And I get excited to get cold. I took a cold shower this morning. I woke up at 5:30 a.m. I did not want to get cold. And I said, I've got to be on Talkin St today. I've got a lot of meetings. I'm going to eat the frog, take this cold shower. And it did. At 5:45 in the morning, I'm singing in the shower, hooting and hollering, laughing, having a great time. And I'm for me, that's putting me in my flow state. Yeah. And that's where I want to thrive every single day.
So what's the difference between doing a cold plunge or the cryotherapy where you're just in cold air?
Yeah. I'm glad you asked. I get this all the time. Ciaran, should I do cryotherapy or should I do ice bath? My answer is simple. Do both. Do both because they're both going to give you the same benefits as far as the vagus nerve stimulation, which is your nervous system getting trained. It's going to reduce inflammation. It really comes down to a convenience factor. Do you have the time to undress, get into your bathing suit, and dunk your whole body in the cold plunge? Like, is that convenient for you in that moment? Some days it's going to be convenient. Other days you don't have that much time and you just want to come in, drop down to your skivvies and get in the cryo chamber and be in there for 5 minutes and then boom, get out. So they have the same benefits. I think ice baths are a little bit more shocking at first. So I think you get more of a vagus nerve activation. I think you also get a deeper core temperature drop.
You definitely do. I forget when I did my scuba certification, I think it's, someone might have to Google this, but I'm thinking the number 70%. You lose heat from your body 70% faster in water than you do in air.
100%.
So that's why, you know, 75 degree air feels good, but 75 degree water is a little chilly.
Yeah. And in every cryo chamber is also different. There's a lot of still air cryo chambers that you can sit in there. And if you stay still enough, you create that thermal layer around your body. And then you can stand there for hours if you wanted to, because you're just so warm. Same with the ice bath, but certain cryo chambers like ours, there's air moving around in there. So
that thing's an ice box.
Yeah, it penetrates right through your clothes.
Oh, the wind
right through your body.
Oh, yeah.
It's like standing in the Arctic bus stop. Like you're in Siberia, like standing outside.
Yeah, no, it's cold.
But I like ice baths more just because they suck more, and I think you should embrace
the suck.
I think you should. Yeah. And I get more of a rush afterwards from cold water because I think it's harder.
So what are some of the other? Okay, we talked about PEMF. We talked about the salt room. That the red light?
Yeah, that's actually where I was going to go next too.
Okay,
because
what's up with that red light? Why do I need that?
Yeah, I mean we're in Florida, so sunshine's not really an issue for us. But even with that said, how many people are able to get out in the sun for at least 20 minutes a day and expose 90 to 100% of their entire body? most people can't get naked in their yard and get away with it, especially at an apartment complex. Right. So, yeah, we need to get in the sun, and we need to get the right exposure for the right amount of time, and that's hard to do in this modern world. So red light kind of solves this problem for us. You get near infrared light and red light spectrums off of red light, and this penetrates your skin, this penetrates into your muscles, and actually penetrates all the way down to the mitochondrial cellular level. So you get enhanced muscle recovery, hormone regulation, better circadian rhythm timing. The red light spectrum comes off the sun when it rises, when it sets. So being in red light around those same times of the day can be extremely beneficial for hormones and circadian rhythm timing. And then the skin benefits. It's anti-aging, so it can help with wrinkles, sunspots. It's actually really funny. If you get sunburn, you should actually go sit in red light because it'll mitigate the effects and help your skin repair from the burn.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is a great thing,
yeah.
Here in Florida. You also get in there, and it feels good to lay down for 30 minutes and absorb these spectrums of light in all parts of your body, because those parts that are covered by your clothes aren't used to receiving these spectrums of light. So like my body, and we breathe in oxygen while we do this too.
Like
Vitality.
my butt cheeks. Don't get any sun.
Certain things will tingle in your body,
yeah.
And it's just fascinating. I watched this video of this guy. He's actually up in Spring Hill. He's a military vet, paralyzed from the chest down, got into a red light bed, and this Navy SEAL was tickling his feet, and the guy is like, "Are you tickling my feet?" And the Navy SEAL's like, "Dude, are you serious? Like, you can feel that?" And he's like, "Hold on." And he like touches him again, and he's laying down. He can't see what he's doing. And he's touching him, and he's having sensations in his limbs from being in the red light. Now, the second he gets out of the red light, no more sensation in his body.
Weird.
So I don't know what's going on there. I honestly can't tell you scientifically how that's working, but I can't wait for the studies to come out and find out what red light is allowing our bodies to do, because it fascinates me.
Yeah, there's a lot to uncover.
A lot.
And all that, and hopefully Andrew Huberman unpacks that for us,
yeah.
right?
Love Andrew Huberman.
Yeah.
Shout out Andrew Huberman.
Shout out to that for sure. Okay, so and where are we currently located?
Yeah, so we're in Tyrone Mall area. The address is 5653 Park Street North, Eagles Park Plaza. If you go just northeast of Tyrone Mall, we're up there.
Yeah, but we're coming to 4th Street.
But we're coming to downtown St. Pete. We're going to be on 4th and 12th across from the Blend.
Nice.
We're going to have some different modalities from our current location in this new location. You'll be able to, your memberships will transfer, your credits will transfer. You can go back and forth to both locations. But there's nothing else in the country that I know of that has the amount of modalities that we have at the value that we're distributing it for. I mean, it's life-changing.
I'm excited for it to be a little closer.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited about that, because there's a lot of benefits to all of it, and you just feel good to just take a day. It's like a more masculine, athletic. I don't really mean to use masculine in a negative way. There's masculine and feminine energy in all of us, but spa day.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, right? It's not the Zen music and eyes closed and getting a massage, but it is recovering your body in a way from doing these, especially if you spend a few hours there. So definitely love that. So you've been a local here. You're watching this place change over year over year. Where do you think we're headed?
Yeah. Somewhere beautiful. I mean, it's already.
So are you one of the ones, because there's some locals that are wish St. Pete the way it was years ago.
And and I understand their perspective on that, because St. Pete used to just be this tiny little tucked away, quaint beach town. And that vibe will always be here in certain areas. And those locals, they know those spots to go to still get that vibe. But for people and like the growth of the city, like change is inevitable, and we should embrace it, because this is a beautiful place. And as you know, it has a special energy to it, and it attracts really cool people. And there's just such a good mix of humans that live in the city. There's everyone from the professionals to the young professionals, the entrepreneurs, the hippies, the retirees, the fishermen, there's just it's a huge melting pot of beautiful people. And I'll give you a short story. 20, 30 years ago, and my mom worked in downtown at a bank, she used to have to get a police escort, security escort, just to go to the parking lot across the street every single night because it was so dangerous in downtown. You didn't go to downtown back in the 90s. There was nothing to do down there. Maybe one little bar outside, and that's it. But yeah, St. Pete used to not be the vibe at all.
Yeah.
My grandpa actually used to own a lot down by Tropicana Field when I was a kid, and I used to go help him cut the grass. And he used to have a firearm on the front seat of the vehicle at all times because the surrounding area was known for high crime,
Violence and everything. Yeah.
so to see it evolve, I was actually born in Bayfront in downtown St. Pete. I grew up outside of St. Pete, but my family was all from this area. They lived out on Snell Isle. My dad still lives on Venetian Isles to this day, and the amount of growth that this place has seen since I was just a little kid, it's been insane.
Yeah.
Like I was born here, played around as a kid, and then in middle school I actually moved to South Florida. My dad got a job down there. I ended up getting into USF in Tampa, moving to Tampa in 2011. From 2011 to 2015, went to college. Ended up getting a job in Carillon Parkway at Franklin Templeton, my first job outside of college in the corporate world. And I moved back to St. Pete, found myself full circle living in downtown. And I remember saying back in 2015, gosh, in 5 years, St. Pete is going to be lit. And it has. It really has. The amount of bars and restaurants and just expansion that's coming into this city. It's not only attracted really cool people, but it's allowed somebody who's been here my whole life to not feel like I've been here, done that. Like there's always something new coming to the city that makes me just keep falling in love with this place over and over again.
Yeah. When does it stop?
Hopefully never.
I think we have a long ways to go.
Yeah, we got a long ways to go.
What do you
This
think
city
we're
is
missing?
just getting started. You know, it's cool to see the growth because a lot of cool things that I thought were missing before are now here. But one of the biggest things that I hear people say all the time is they're looking for steam. People want steam. There's saunas,
Steam. Okay.
a
There we
steam
go.
room, you know,
Steam room.
but a place
Yeah.
where you can go and get like a aromatherapy steam. And Vitality 2 is going to actually have a steam room with essential oils, aromatherapy built in, so you can choose like eucalyptus or citrus or some type of scent to go in there to help with the effects of the body. So yeah,
That'll be cool. I'm
think it's
excited
something.
about that. There
Me too.
used to, I'm forgetting the name of the gym. It's over across the bridge that I don't cross anymore.
Lifetime.
Yes,
Yep.
and they had steam there,
Yeah,
and it is different. Just opens you up.
it's intense.
Yeah, it's super intense.
And it's good for the lungs.
Yeah, no. That's good. I'm glad to hear that's coming because that's a whole nother. You know, to do steam and then a sauna after is. Yeah, I like that.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So okay, so being a local here, what are some? Let's bring it out. What are some of your favorite local gems?
There's so many. I did think about this a little bit. My favorite restaurant. Let's go there first.
Yeah.
And I've just recently, in recent years, have discovered this place, and it's really one of the only places I go now. But Soul St. Pete, Debbie and Ron,
Yep.
they've done an incredible job bringing farm to table, using high quality ingredients. I am that type of person that I love to cook and put intention and love into my food. It hits different.
Yeah.
Like nothing beats like a homemade meal from grandma or your mom.
No,
And
it
there's a
doesn't.
reason for that. There's good energy in the food. And I think Debbie and Ron have brought a great job of putting their love and intention into their food. And it's amazing.
Yeah,
I love
that.
it. So
Love
that's my
that.
favorite place to eat. And like I live right outside of downtown. So my favorite thing is just to like get on my bike or my longboard or my rollerblades and just venture around. There's always something going on down there. You never know what you're going to find. There's performers on the pier. There's little markets all over the place. We have the most waterfront property that's available out of really anywhere else. So I've actually heard you guys talk about that on this podcast
Yeah,
before.
we did. Yeah.
And it's just such a special place. I'll be in the park downtown riding my bike around, and I'll just meet somebody and have like a really in-depth conversation of something that I didn't even know I needed that day. But it's just like it falls right into place.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about the people that come here, and there is something special. Everyone kind of says that, like there's about the energy here. It attracts a certain type of person, and there's a line that stuck that it's not the people are the culture. There's not a
100%.
culture here, right? So and I think so having those people here are going to attract more like-minded individuals like that, or is it something else? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there is so much to do here. If you think about like as far as centralization goes, if you live in downtown, you have all the food, all the entertainment, all the things to do you could ever need. You don't even need to leave downtown. And that's actually a thing in downtown St. Pete. Like if you live in downtown, it's like, why do I have to go by Tyrone area, or why do I have to go to Tampa? Like I have everything I need right here.
Mm-hmm.
So for like the big city people, you can stay in downtown and get that like big city vibe. For all like the non-city people, they can just live right outside the city but have all the luxuries of a city. And then for the nature people, I mean, what place is better than St. Pete with all the beaches and all the water and all the boating
What's
activities?
your favorite beach?
I don't know if I should tell you guys. Everybody's going to go there.
Yeah, do it.
I'll let it out. My favorite beach is Upham Beach.
Upham.
Yep. North of PCI, where the jetties and the rocks are. I'm a big diver, snorkeler, and I just like going out there and snorkeling on those rocks. It's also, there's a secret little garden down there, if you know what I'm talking about. For those locals, now you probably are like, why'd you say that? But yeah, there's a secret garden at the end of Upham Beach, which is a really cool spot. And the sand is just perfect out there.
Okay, Upham. And it has decent parking.
Decent parking. Yep.
Better than PCI.
Way better than PCI.
Although PCI is a vibe.
It is.
It is. For those that haven't been, so the Postcard Inn out on the beach, the one party spot, that, it's still no parking. They have a little bit of parking out there.
If you're willing to pay $20 to $30 for parking, you're good to go.
More.
But,
over 4th of July, $75.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, there's your, there's your supply and demand economics for the parking of St. Pete Beach.
Yeah.
It's worth it though. St. Pete Beach is amazing. And if you're in our age range, the 20 to 30, even 30 to 40 age range, PCI is a great place for everybody. My grandparents are all from Europe, and they would come over here on family vacation. And I was a little kid going to PCI, seeing all these older kids partying. Like I was watching the American Pie movies, and I was like, one day I'll be here partying like this. And boy, oh boy, I didn't even know what type of trouble I was going to get into.
The beaches are a whole nother vibe that we haven't really dove into yet on the show. But there are so many different vibes out at the beach. Yeah. From Pass-a-Grill, which is a total opposite spectrum from PCI
quiet.
at St. Pete. I call it the Beverly Hills of the beaches in terms of price per square foot out there.
Yeah.
And then just going even up north all the way to Clearwater. Then it's like, tourist heaven.
Yeah. I try to stay away from Clearwater Beach because all the tourists.
Yeah. You guys can keep going there. I'm not going there.
Yeah. You guys, I'll keep going to Upham.
Yeah. No, I'm good with that. Okay. So we talked about your favorite place to eat, all the things you like to do, vitality. I mean, dude, there's just so much going on here. I love it. And I was just showing a house yesterday, off of Central a little bit, it down ways towards the beach. I think at like, I'm forgetting the address, maybe around 40th. And they're like, well, how soon till everything's coming down this way? I'm like, it's coming. It has to.
Constantly.
I mean, you just look at all the cranes that are going on downtown and the expansion. And it's funny because they were sending me Google Map screenshots because you can go back in the years and look as you can drive down Central and look at 2019 and see what was being built, and then go to 2021 and then you can see the.
That'd be a really cool time lapse.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But to make the drive down Central back in time, as if it's 2018, and just see the development that's happening.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Even since 2015 when I moved here, like half of the high rises in downtown were not there. So it's cool to watch the construction, especially from the real estate perspective, and the demand for the city has just gone up and up and up.
Because I know there may be some still listening, and we mentioned superhuman protocol.
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
Yeah, the superhuman protocol. So 10X Health Systems, David Brecka, this is something that they worked with Da Vinci Medical Group, and they patented it. And it combines three of my favorite things of all time. It's PEMF therapy, which, circling back, just quick brief, that declumps your cells and optimizes your cells to receive things better. So that's step one, 10 minutes. Then you go 10 minutes on this AI Carol bike, which a Carol bike is an AI bike that learns about you very quickly, and it puts you through a sequence of sprints and cooldowns with a breathing protocol on the screen. And while you're doing this, creating this cardiovascular demand, you're breathing in high flow oxygen. So when you create cardiovascular demand in your body, all of your cells crave oxygen. And what better way to give them what they need by just flooding them with pure O2? So you get on this bike 10 minutes, breathing in all that oxygen. Now your cells are saturated. Now you stand in front of the red light for 10 minutes. And you stand in front of this red light. You completely disrobe. So you're standing there totally naked in this red light. And now you're absorbing these spectrums of infrared light that allow extra oxygen absorption, better blood flow, circulation, mitochondrial support, energy. Your VO2 max increases. So this is really good for athletes. This is really good for just optimization. This is really good for high performers, entrepreneurs. You get off this thing and you do feel different. You feel just like turned up and charged up. So
I have to try it. I haven't done it yet.
yeah, I'll have to get you in there.
Yeah, I need to try that. I know some of the other buddies have done it and enjoy it, but
Yeah.
the breathing thing, man, it definitely is a little workout.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And this bike, the Carol bike, gives you 45 minutes of cardiovascular exercise in less than 10 minutes. So the harder you push on this bike, the harder it pushes back at you. And it knows like your exact body weight, your cardiovascular strain. It's measuring all your biometrics on your body while you're doing this. So it's really cool.
That's
AI,
wild.
another AI tool.
Yeah,
that we can use.
another thing. Just the word AI in the last year and a half, 2 years,
Yeah.
showing up everywhere.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I use it in my business. I use it in my day-to-day life. It's been a tool that I've been playing with.
I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah, it's
Like if you're into the
valuable tool.
but some people are gonna fight it.
Naturally, that's human tendency.
Yeah.
Anything new that comes to light, there's going to be those people that fight
Is it like, think of, I was, it's funny to look back at clips from like the 90s when people were talking about email.
Yeah.
Like, what is this email thing? And you have an address and
it's never going to work.
yeah. And now it's AI. Like, oh yeah, why would I ever write an email again when I can just have the AI do it?
Yeah.
I've been doing that.
Guilty. I've got the Jasper Chrome extension.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Jasper AI.
Yeah.
You can. It
Yeah,
has a Chrome extension. Oh yeah, she knows. And you can literally say, "Hey Ryan, thank you for the podcast today," and then just hit the arrow over, and it'll give me it'll just auto fill it all out for me.
Man,
It's
so it is
ridiculous.
funny because to have an intellectual conversation in person, you don't have that ability. There's something powerful about writing. Although I do like the efficiency to especially responding to emails, right? People don't like, in terms of to-dos, every time you get an email, sometimes I create something for you to do. And then you respond to an email and you're getting something back to do, right?
Yep.
So the to-do list is continuous.
Yeah.
In the book, Time Management for Mortals,
Love
it
that book.
talks about that,
Yep.
right? Like the consistent, it's never going to stop. So the AI is interesting because it makes that more efficient. However, is it making us dumb?
Yeah, I mean, it's like your cell phone. Do you utilize your cell phone the right way? Because if not, it's a dumb phone, not a smartphone. I think AI is just an extension of our human consciousness and how we use it as a tool. If you don't use it the right way, of course, you're not going to get the results you need.
Yeah.
But if you feed it the right information, because it will learn from you, it can be really fascinating and be like a vehicle to help me get through like creator's block, or I need 10 ridiculous marketing ideas for ice baths. Just something like out there that I might be stuck on internally, and I can give it to the AI, and then it gives me something back, and then I take that and build off of it.
Yeah.
I don't like listen to the AI and go, okay, thank you, and use exactly what it gives me. Like
Right.
I take
No,
that.
you got to
and-
tailor it a little
yeah,
bit.
you
And
gotta
as you're
customize
saying this,
it.
I'm sitting here laughing at all the math teachers that said you wouldn't have a calculator in your pocket all the time. And it's like, not only do we have that, but we have this thing called ChatGPT that I can get way more than the answers that a calculator can give me. Right?
It's fascinating. I've been like using it to teach me things that have always seemingly been like really in-depth and complicated. Like I asked it the other day to break down neuroscience for me, and it broke it down, and I'm just sitting there reading about it, and I'm like, yeah, thank you. Like
Nice.
this.
And then you can continue the conversation with it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll dive deeper into this topic or dumb it down to a fifth grade level.
And that gives me marketing ideas. It gives me topics of conversation, or I get asked questions at Vitality about certain things, and now I'm just like giving myself more tools in my toolbox to use, because I'm really just like a messenger. Ciaran even means the carrier of light, and I'm a big nerd. I love to learn. So AI for me and biohacking, it's just allowed me to become a better version of myself and learn faster so I can help others better.
What happens when the next level of biohacking is putting that chip in your head? So that way the AI is in your brain.
Yeah. I would not. I would opt out of that. To be honest,
you're not gonna
I,
hop on the
I
Elon Musk train and get the
no. I
Neuralink.
mean, I love Elon, but like, I still want full autonomy over my own body, and yeah, I just don't want to do something. To me, that's not biohacking. That's just like,
It's a hack of some sort.
yeah, it's some type of like, I'm giving up my sovereignty as a human. So
Yeah. Well, there's a version of that I think is coming in the next couple of years with Apple and their Pro Vision or whatever, right?
for sure.
I mean, it's clunky now, but it's first version. What happens when it's like some sleek, cool looking glasses that you don't even know?
Yeah.
Do you know like Ray-Bans has those glasses with the cameras built in?
Yeah, kind of like Snapchat.
And if you don't know that there's a camera in them, they did a good job to where it's not that obvious. Like
Yeah.
you can tell, but it's still early, right? So that's what I'm thinking about with this Apple Vision Pro or something like that. You're saying something about neuroscience, and it's giving me prompts and questions to ask that you can't see, but I can.
Yeah, imagine that in like contacts.
Right.
Like I couldn't even see that you're wearing this thing, and you're getting all these
information. It's
tidbits.
yeah.
It's gonna be fascinating where it all goes. I just want to be like healthy and live a good life with what I have. And like one of my favorite books that I've been reading is Outlive by Peter Attia.
Mm-hmm.
He talks all about like health span versus lifespan. People say, Ciaran, do you want to live forever? Do you want to live to 180 like Dave Asprey? Not if I'm not living my best life at those ages. Like I want to live a long health span with what I got. I don't necessarily want to be old and not be able to move around and kick around. So
what's the quote I just posted the other day? I saw it at like this cool house I just saw. The same house I was just talking about. I had this little plaque that said, "It's not about how many breaths you take in your lives. It's about the moments that take your breath away."
Yeah.
That one hit, right?
Yeah.
That one hit.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. Where can people find you?
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
You got
Please.
it.
Okay, I wanted to know how frequently you spoke about all your modalities.
Yeah.
How frequently should you be engaging?
Oh, good question. Good question. Good question.
They can hear me behind.
Now, okay, so the question is, how frequently should you be engaging in the modalities?
Yeah, and I love this because your biohacking and your health journey should be hyper personalized to you. And I think that's a big thing that the common healthcare system is missing. So for somebody who is an athlete or working out, 3 to 5 times a week, you should be in there. You should be recovering as much as you are putting strain on your body. But if you're just a normal person and you just want to optimize your body and feel better because you don't feel good right now, you should be in there 2 times a week at minimum. They say 11 minutes cumulative for an ice bath. They say 15 minutes a day, every day for red light, sauna every day. 3 to 4 times a week, though, decreases cardiovascular disease by 50%. So it really should be hyper-personalized. We should look into your genetics, your blood work, your diet, your lifestyle, all of these things to really give you a specific protocol. But at the end of the day, you should really listen to your intuition and just get in there and do it as much as you can.
Yeah.
It's whatever is time efficient, economical, and makes sense for you. But
Okay.
yeah,
I love that. Good question, Dom.
Yep.
Good question. So with that, where can they find you, and when is Vitality 2.0 opening?
So you can find us at www.vitalitystpete.com or at Vitality St. Pete on Instagram. We're also Vitality Wellness Center on Facebook. And if everything goes as planned, the build out will be done by October, end of October, early November at the latest. But we'll keep you posted.
Yeah. By the time this comes out, you might have like a month or two left. So with that, thank you, Ciaran. Appreciate you dropping
very
all the
grateful.
bombs, all the knowledge of the biohacking world of Vitality and St. Pete. And if you've made it this far, what should they leave in the comments below?
Yeah, just tell me.
No, one word.
Oh,
one word. If they're still listening, comment
Vitality.
Vitality. There it is, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, we're sponsored by Bogdan Homes. So if you're still listening and you're looking for a home, call your boy. See you in the next one.
That was awesome. That was fun.
Nice, bro. Good job. How are we doing time? That's why I was getting a little...
No, you're good. We are 40 minutes.
Oh, perfect.